Okay. So, today we're going to embroider. I did the Buddha eyes yesterday, and today we're just going around putting the first layer of the white. I want this to be a circle so it stands out. This is Bald Eagle's Huipil, by the way. And I decided to do Buddha eyes on the back of Bald Eagle's Huipil. For a number of reasons. One of the reasons is that I really love Buddha eyes. The artists, many hundreds of years ago, I don't know, who came up with this or developed this design of the eyes. They paint them on stupas. Buddha eyes on all four sides of a stupa to represent omniscience, the ability of Buddha to see everything, the whole universe. And I really love that idea. I practice doing that myself. Like I can switch my brain over to expanding my mind out as far as I can. So, and Bald Eagle has, that's one of Bald Eagle's attributes, is being able to see far. Ordinary reality Bald Eagles, they can fly miles in the sky up above. I don't know how far they can see, but apparently they can see from above a tiny animal below, which is totally amazing. And for in the spirit Bald Eagle, capital B, capital E, that's considered, I learned this on YouTube, considered to be that Bald Eagle can see into the past, the present, and the future. Spirit animal can see everything. They know everything about us. We can't hide anything. And so I thought it's appropriate to connect Buddha eyes to Bald Eagle. And they kind of have, Bald Eagle eyes, they have that piercing look, super serious, miss nothing kind of look to them. And Buddha eyes have that same expression, in my opinion. And this shape, the spiral, this kind of looks like a beak in some ways. Maybe they were inspired by a bird. The artists all those hundreds of years ago. I don't know why they made the nose like that. Plus it has the circle up there for the third eye. And this is not really related, but Zen people, Buddhists, to show that they have relinquished connections, worldly connections. They shave their heads. They are bald. Bald eagle's bald. It could be. There's a connection, maybe. They're very intuitive. Intuition. When I work on these Huipils, the idea is that I connect with the power animals. The particular power animals. So another attribute of bald eagle is they're high flyers, right? So they are seen as having executive type powers, leadership, decision making, big picture type powers that they can share with humans. Don't know if I have those qualities. My business is just me, and expanding out onto YouTube is kind of new, but it could be international potentially. High flyer, go around the whole planet. Wouldn't that be amazing? If these videos go around the entire planet, that would be totally amazing. Introduced to the world in general. Some cultures, like in the Latin American countries, the shamanic practitioners, they're very integrated into the culture, the communities. They're widely accepted, and I think that I have never been to those countries, but I think that apparently people live their lives knowing their power animals, and they have a relationship with their power animals. Americans were not really like that. It's growing. Like, for example, I'm an American. And I have an interest in connecting with spirit animals. But I think it's still kind of unusual. And if there's anything I can do, to help people find out, get their connections to power animals again, that would be amazing. It's part of the reason why I do this work. They're so helpful. So, intuition, cultivating intuition, that is something that the Zen people work towards, being in tune with their subconscious minds, being guided by their subconscious minds, and that is something that shamanic people do too. We follow, and I think that bald eagle, if I can tap into bald eagle's powers, I can increase my ability to be intuitive, to see further than normally. One of the things I've been doing lately is I'm embroidering, passing the time, listen to music and watch Bob Ross videos. I really love Bob Ross. He's so relaxing. And he has a kind heart. Anyways, I've been enjoying, this is new, I've been enjoying tuning in to videos of these ladies. They do tarot card readings. Very elaborate tarot card readings. They have lots of decks they draw cards from. Some are tarot cards, and some they call them, what do they call those? It's a different word. It's not a tarot. Anyways, they use multiple decks, and they shuffle the decks, and a card falls out, and that's the card that the spirits want people to see. That's the message. And some of the ladies, they're, not as in tune, but some are very intuitive, and they are accurate readings. And here's the amazing thing. Like, I'll watch one video and then I'll tune into another lady's video. Same reading. How about that? Lots of similarities. Like, for example, two of them in one day, one after the other. I watched them. They said, you're going to go on a journey. I thought, no. I had no plans to go on a trip. No, they're not right. But turns out I did go on a trip. Very shortly after that, in fact, I think the very next day, I wanted to buy the camera and tripod so I could film these embroidery sessions. And looked online. There were no real camera stores here in Red Bluff. So I ended up driving to downtown Sacramento, which is a 5-hour round trip. It was quite a journey. I had to go all that way to get a real camera, get a decent tripod, and all the SD card and the card reader. So that was a true reading. They were accurate. I'm thinking maybe I can get a bunch of tarot cards like that. Do my own readings. Tap into intuition. using the tarot cards. Before doing this embroidery session, I did a journey. I wanted to ask Bald Eagle, are you as omniscient as Buddha? Same degree, you know, can you see everything? And I did not get an answer on that journey. Sometimes since I'm new, a student, I don't always get an answer. One of the things I wanted to show, everybody who watches these videos are the tags, the name tags I'm using in these Huipils as my signature. Because this is an art form, it's a spiritual practice and shamanic practice, but it's also an art, my art. So let me show you the name tag I'm using. These are like laundry tags. Let that jet go overhead. Laundry tags I found in a very old sewing basket. These go back to 1974. I was a student at TASIS, the American school in Switzerland. My student number was 638, and I verified this morning. I looked in my old files. That, yep, 1974, and that was my student ID number. We had to sew these labels into all of our clothing for the laundry room. And I remembered, whoops, just made a mistake. I remembered having to sit there and do that. We had to sew all those labels into every shirt, every pants, everything. I grew up in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, one of the longest places where I lived overseas. And then the school in Dhahran went to 9th grade. After that, everybody had to go off to boarding school. And Aramco would help pay for the cost. So my sister Becky and I went to TASIS for 1 year. I went 1 year, she went more years. But for 11th grade, I went to Kodaikanal in India. I think that, in fact, I know for sure. So 1974, that was the year when I was at boarding school in Switzerland. I was inspired. I was watching another student, older than me. She was a senior. She was drawing in a big notepad. And I saw that. I thought, I want to be an artist too. That was my decision to become an artist. And here I am today doing this work. Amazing. Now, also at that time, my interest in Buddhism was more academic, like looking in books and reading and writing about it. For school, I remember I had to write a report, so I I could choose any subject, and I chose Buddhism. I wrote about Buddha. So it's no surprise that here I am all these years later doing this very image. Wishing I could have a shaved head. Be a bald eagle. I don't think I knew what shamanic practitioners did. In fact, I only learned about the shamanic practitioners. I think it was 2019, just a few years ago. I was reading Spirit Walker by Hank Wasselman. And it was very intriguing. I wanted to learn more. Okay, pretty good. We're going to do all the way around.